subject. So get x
So
on
do
one
we
side.
-20 on both sides?
You could. What I would start with is always eliminate the smaller unknown. Always eliminate smaller x first.
So would you minus x
Yep.
both sides?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'd be 4x plus 9 is greater than or equal to 20.
Yeah.
And then would you get rid of 20? Or would you keep 20?
You're aiming towards getting x by itself.
Would you minus 9 from both sides?
Yep.
Okay. So it'd be 4x is greater than or equal to 11. And then would you minus 4x?
What's the opposite of times 4?
Divide by.
Yeah. And so x is greater than or equal to?
X is greater than or equal to, and then 11. 2.75.
Yep. 11 over 4 is fine as well. 2.75 in case you need that. And the reason why, so your first thing was you'll subtract 20. What would have happened then is you'd end up having to add 20 back again. And so if you subtract the smaller unknown first, then that is like the quickest way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we do B?
Okay. So do we subtract 12 first? On both sides.
How would you, if you like, eliminate the smaller unknown?
So would that be 3x then? Minus 3x?
So I would add 3x to both sides for this one.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of depends. All right, because there is really only one x. All right, we'll subtract 12 from both sides. What do you get there?
Okay. 1 second. You'd get minus 3x is lesser than 15.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then?
And then would you divide by minus 3?
Yeah.
Both sides. So you'd get minus 3 divided by minus 3 is 1. So just x is lesser than, and then 15 divided by minus 3 is minus 5. So x is lesser than minus 5.
Believe it or not, x is greater than minus 5. If you multiply or divide by a negative with an inequality, the sign flips.
Okay.
So let's say 1 is less than 100. If it was minus 1 and minus 100, so 100, well, 1 is much less than 100, but minus 1 is much greater than minus 100. So it just happens. And C.
Okay. So you multiply everything in the brackets first.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 3x minus 15 is greater than 5, and then minus 2x plus 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we just want x by itself?
Yep. That's what you're always aiming
Or
for.
Does it matter which side x is on, because there's 2 different x's?
It doesn't matter. Easiest way would be to eliminate the smaller one.
The small x?
Yeah.
So you add 2x to both sides then?
Yeah. So in this case, you had to add 2x to eliminate a smaller one. And originally we had to subtract, but it's the same idea.
Yeah. So it'd be 5x minus 15 is greater than 5 plus 16.
Yep.
And then could you simplify 5 plus 16 first,
Yep.
which would be 21. So it'd be 5x minus 15 is greater than 21. And then would you add 15 on both sides?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 5x is greater than 36.
Mm-hmm.
And then you divide by 5
Mm-hmm.
on both sides, which would be x is greater than 36 divided by 5. 36 over 5 or 7.2.
That's it. Great. But biggest thing with that one is two things. If you divide or multiply both sides by a negative, the inequality
Yeah.
sign flips. And if you have unknowns on both sides, it's easier to eliminate smaller one first.
Yeah.
Any questions there?
Nope.
And I suppose we can always check these. I should just show you. So you can use graphical calculator. I'm just going to use a little one. 3 bracket x minus 5. I'm going to use the equal sign. Equals 5 minus 2 bracket x minus 8. Close bracket. Shift calc for solve. Pick a lucky number. I'll pick 7. So you get x equals 7.2.
Yeah.
We know that it's actually x is greater than 7.2, and so but if it involves negatives, you don't know which way the sign is going to go. But if if we said the answer is 7.2 and we got 7.2, we're probably all right.
Yeah.
Just have to watch out for it. This is what it looks like on a number line. Yes. For this one, x is greater than minus 2 and x is less than or equal to 4. So what numbers could x be?
X is greater than minus 2 and equal to... So it could be minus 1,
Mm-hmm.
0,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, so that's the integers that it could be.
Yeah.
And in general, x is between minus 2 and 4. Excluding minus 2, including 4. And this way you've gone from having 2 inequalities to just 1. And so here we say, well, x is greater than minus 2. Well, let's say 5 is greater than minus 2, but it can't be that. It can't be 5 because it's also less than or equal to 4.
Yeah.
And so you often have to put inequalities together.
Yep.
Okay, here we've got 3 inequalities. So let's... Oh no, that's the answer. And they just wrote it using this notation, the circle and filled circle for or equal to. This one can also be written, so this is a different one. The inequality can be on the outside.
Yeah.
I just want to see, are these worth doing? Not really. Oh, and, yep, we better do these. Okay, let's try these.
Okay. Minus. So do we minus x on both sides first?
Mm-hmm.
Should be 2x minus 5 is lesser than 8. And then we add 5 on both sides, which would make it 2x is lesser than 13. And then you divide by 2 on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So 13 divided by 2, which is 6.5. So x is lesser than 6.5.
Okay.
And then we need to work out the other one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. So first we minus x on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Should be 4x is greater than minus 8. And then we divide by 4 on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So minus 8 divided by 4 is minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it stayed the same. the thingy. It wouldn't get flipped.
True. And so x is greater than minus 2.
Yep.
And what do we do about this? X is less than 6.5 and x is greater than minus 2.
So we write it out as one inequality.
Yep. How would you do that?
So it would be x is less than 6.5. So it'd be minus 1. Would that be the first one?
That's just as an integer. These include, so when we did this one, this includes 1.5.
Oh, so would it be minus 2 and then would be first minus 2 is lesser than x, and then x is greater than 6.5.
X is
Lesser than 6.5.
Yeah. The two arrows, if you're putting the two together, they both point to the left.
Yeah. Can they point any other direction? Is that not possible?
You could point them both to the right, but then you'd have to put the negative on the right and the like the smaller number on the right and the bigger number on the left.
Yeah.
And so it's easier to just keep it to the left.
Yeah.
That's it. So basically x is less than 6.5 and greater than minus 2, and so x is between minus 2 and 6.5.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let's try B.
Okay. Okay, so we add x to both sides, which would be 2x minus 5 is greater than 1. And then we add 5 to both sides, which would be 2x is greater than 6. And then we divide by 2, so it'd be x is greater than 3. The first one. And the second one would be so we add 2x to both sides. No, minus 2x, sorry.
Okay.
Which would be 15 minus 5x is greater than 5. And then we minus 15 from both sides, which would be minus 5x is greater than minus 10. And then you divide by minus 5, which would be minus 5. 1 is it lesser than or just x? Because does it get flipped?
1x less than, yeah, because you divided by negative.
Yep. And then minus 10 divided by minus 5 is 2.
Well done. And so
You put it as a one equality.
This one can't.
Because the other one's like flipped to the left, so you can't. It's the x is greater than.
Yeah, and so it's just x is less than 2 or x is greater than 3. So that one doesn't go together, because that's just what it is. Yeah. Any questions about those?
No.
Okay, so this one you had this middle bit, and then this one you had the gap. You're gonna be fine for these. So that's weird. I just want to see. So use set notation. That is when you just put in square brackets x such that. So this is exam question. I don't think it's worth doing. Let's take a look at this. For which, no, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. So this one uses set notation. Let's just do the. No. So to put these into set notation, let me see. Question 3. Oh, I don't have the answer to hand. but set notation. I'll just use one that we already did.
Okay.
If it was x is less than 2, so let's say this one here, you would just do curly brackets and x such that, and then you would put this. Maybe it's no. Maybe it uses these weird symbols. Yeah, it uses these weird symbols. I'll leave that.
Okay.
I just don't have the. So set notation. I'll look at that sometime. Okay, this is worth doing. How about this?
Okay. So x. So when it says form a linear equalities, that means it just wants says one equality.
Just any inequality.
Okay. X is greater than 0. Give the perimeter of the base must be less than 400. So we know the length. Wait, we don't know the length.
The length is 30. Oh, 30 more than the width.
Yeah.
And the width is x. What could you do
So
about
to be. So how would you write it out as?
it would be the width is x. Any idea how you'd write the length?
X plus 30.
Correct. The perimeter. So what would be the perimeter if this is the width and length?
It would be, well, 2x's and then 2x's plus 30. So it'd be 2x.
Yep. And then, yeah, go on, simplify.
So it'd be 2x add 2x plus 30. Is that how it works? Or
Yeah.
could you simplify it more?
Not 30.
Oh, 60, sorry.
Yeah, you can simplify it more.
So it'd be 4x plus 60. That would be the perimeter.
Yeah. So perimeter is 4x plus 60. What else do we know about the perimeter?
That has to be less than 400 meters.
And so 4x plus 60 is less than 400. And so that's our inequality. So we formed the inequality and now we solved the inequality.
Okay. So you'd minus 60 on both sides first.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be 4x is less than 340. And then you divide by 4 on both sides, which x is less than. So 340 divided by 4 is 85.
Well done. And so x has to be less than 85.
Yep.
Yeah, so perimeter is 4x plus 60. Perimeter is less than 400. And so 4x plus 60 is less than 400.
Yep.
Width is x, length is 30 more, and so length is x plus 30. That's how you form those equations. Sorry, form inequality. Any questions about that one?
Nope.
Okay, so these are, let's see, no. Let's just try B, because it's got a fraction.
Okay.
Let's just do the fractional bit.
Okay, so
no,
the
no.
x minus 2 over 9.
We'll do the whole thing. We better do it properly.
2, 5, 8, x plus 4. So you multiply everything in the bracket first on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it'd be 0.25 multiplied by 8, which would be 2x.
Mm-hmm.
And then 0.25 multiplied by 4, which would be 1. So 2x plus 1 is lesser than 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we work that one out first?
Yep.
Okay. So you minus 1 on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
which give you 2x is lesser than 4.5, and then you divide by 2,
Yep.
which would give you x is lesser than, and then divided by 2 is not 2.25.
Yep.
So that's the first one. X is lesser than 2.25. We'll work out the other one. So it'd be write out. So would you multiply it by 9 on both sides?
Well done.
So it'd be x minus 2 still, and then is greater than 11 multiplied by 9, which is 99. And then you plus 2 on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
which would be x is greater than 101. So that's the answer.
Yes. And that's an OR type, so it's just OR between them. Set notation, I believe, would be curly bracket x such that, and then it would be this answer: x is less than 2.25. The other one was x is greater than 101. We close the curly brackets, and it's OR, and so it's the intersection symbol.
So what is set notation for then?
It's for these. It's just and instead of saying OR, you write U for union.
Then why do you need like a ratio in it?
It's not a ratio. It just stands for such that.
Oh, okay.
It's just a colon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Okay, linear inequalities. What do you give yourself?
Probably a tick. It was pretty easy.
Yeah. Okay, quadratic inequalities. Let's just give it a go. Okay. How about this?
Okay. So would you want x by itself still?
There's certain things. Try putting it into your calculator, the quadratic one, except instead of choosing A for equation, choose B for inequality.
Oh, okay. And then 2 degrees, and then it's the, what is it? It's the second one down.
For less than, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be minus 2x squared. And then minus 5x, add 3. So x is lesser than minus 3, and a half is lesser than x.
So x is less than minus 3, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other one, did you say a half?
Yeah.
If a half is less than x, then if you put the x on the other side,
So it'd be x is greater than a half.
x is greater than a half. That's it. And they don't overlap. And
Yeah.
let's put it in the graphical calculator. Shift view window standard. That's what it looks like. We want when is the output less than 0? If we do shift graphical solve, let's do the root. And you can see there, it's when x is going to be less than minus 3, like to the left of minus 3.
Yeah.
And if I press right, when x is, it says the root is equal to 0.5. And so when is it less than 0, would be under that. And so it's when x is greater than 0.5. So that's just like a visual explanation for it. Oh, let's take a look. And there we go. Great. Any questions about
that? Nope.
Let's see. So this one seems fine. I brought in lots of exam questions, but I'll just see. Okay, I think this is fine. Find the set of values of this. Okay, let's try this.
Which one, A or B? Both.
So they're both connected.
Okay. Okay, so we want to make the top one like not equal to 0, but you
Yeah.
want 0 on the right of it.
Yeah.
X squared. So, are you able to minus x squared on both sides?
Yep.
Okay, so it'd be 12 plus 4x minus x squared is greater than 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put that into the calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first one. So it'd be minus 1, 4, and 12. So the answer to that is minus 2 is lesser than x, and x is lesser than 6.
Okay. Question B.
So would you work out the second one?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So it's 5. So you'd minus 2 on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 5.
I'd go the other way about it. You're trying to get
To
x.
work out x. Okay. So you'd plus 3 on both sides. So it'd be 5x is greater than 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then you divide by 5, so x is greater than 1.
Yep. And so, what is this about? What is our final answer?
Would it? So would there be 3 values to this?
No.
As in, like, you got minus 2, 6, and 1.
No. X is between minus 2 and 6, and
Yeah.
x is greater than 1.
So would it be or x is greater than 1?
No, and. So you can improve your estimate for x. So you don't know exactly what x is. You know it's between minus 2 and 6, and then you learn x is greater than 1.
So you could replace minus 2 with 1.
Correct.
Is that how it works?
Correct.
Okay.
And
So it'd be x is greater than 1 or x is lesser than 6. Would that be the answer?
Yeah, x is bigger than 1 or x is less than 6. And like you said, you can replace the minus 2, and so you can actually put them together because they go together. So instead of x being between minus 2 and 6, we've now tightened it up. X is between 1 and 6 with that extra information. Any questions there?
No.
And so that's a common enough type of question. So it was between minus 2 and 6, and then we know that it's between 1 and 6. There's a bit of work to be done there, but you know. So that's exam question. Yeah, hang on. Okay, we better do exam question. Yeah, it's a good one.
So you multiply everything in the bracket first. So it'd be 6x minus 2 is lesser than 4 minus 3x.
Mm-hmm.
And then you work that out. So you'd plus 3x on both sides. It'd be 9x minus 2 is lesser than 4. And then we plus 2 on both sides. So it'd be 9x is less than 6. Then you divide by 9 on both sides. So x is lesser than, and then 9, 6 divided by 9 gives you 0.6. Or it's recurring, so it would be 2 over 3.
Let's just go with 2/3.
Yeah.
B.
Okay. 2. So could you just put that into the calculator?
Yep.
And it'll be second one. So it'd be 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. The answer is minus a half is lesser than x, and x is lesser than 3.
Okay, and C.
Okay. So we already have the answer to the second part of C. We just need to work out. Oh no, we need to put them together. We already have both, don't we? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So x is. So it'd be minus a half is lesser than x, and x is lesser than 2 over 3. Would
Well,
that be right?
that's correct. Yep. This time it was tightened up on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. The only bit really that I wanted to do was question C, but we had to do A and B to
Yeah.
get it. Any questions about that?
Nope.
I'm happy. Okay. How about this weird one?
Okay. So it doesn't equal to x doesn't equal to 0. Is that what it means?
Yes. That's just because you can't divide by 0. That's just something they always say whenever you have an x in a fraction.
X 6. So would you multiply by x on both sides?
You would think so. However, if you did that, you would get x is greater than 2x. Sorry, 6 is greater than 2x.
Yeah.
But if x is negative, it would be 6 is less than 2x. And so because we don't know if x is positive or negative,
Yeah.
there is something you can do to make any number not negative, and that is by squaring it. And so you would multiply both sides by x squared. So try multiplying both sides by x squared.
So it'd be 6 is greater than 2x squared. Would that be right?
6, let's say 6x squared over x is greater than 2x squared. Simplify.
And then would you divide by x on both sides?
No.
Would you do that?
What is 6x squared over x?
Oh, it's just 6x.
Yeah, and so 6x is greater than 2x squared. And then you'd solve that.
And then you just divide them both by 2. Both sides. Wait, could you, because it's x squared, could you still divide it by 2?
You can
By
divide
2,
both sides by 2, yeah.
So it'd give you x squared is lesser than 3x.
Say it again, sorry?
X squared is lesser than 3x. Is that right?
Yeah, you swapped the sides, was it?
Oh, you're supposed to swap sides.
That's what you did. You swapped sides. If you divide both
Okay.
sides by 2, you would get
Yeah.
3x is greater than x squared. And you swapped them around and said x squared is less than 3x.
All right.
Both the same thing. Okay.
And then do we? Do we have to get rid of the squared?
I would make it make 0 the subject.
Okay. So we just minus x squared from both sides,
Yep,
which would be 3x minus x squared is greater than 0.
that'll work.
And then you put that into the calculator.
Yep.
Okay. And it's the first one. So it would be minus 1 x squared plus 3x and then plus 0. And so it'd be 0 is lesser than x is lesser than 3.
That's great. So basically x is between 0 and 3. And so there's a number of times in there where the temptation is to multiply both sides by x or divide both sides by x. The problem is we don't know if x is positive or negative. And so we have to go about it this way. X is between 0 and 3. And so x is between 0 and 3. There we go. So any questions about that one?
No.
Tricky. So that's what those look like. Oof. Tricky one. Hang on. Let's see. I think we'd better just do... Let me think. How would you start 4a?
Okay. You'd square both sides.
And how would that work?
So it'd be 2x squared over x is lesser than 1x squared. Or just x squared.
Yeah, and what will be next?
And then it's simplified to 2x is less than x squared, 1x squared.
Next step.
You make it equal to 0, so you minus x squared on both sides.
Yep,
So
and
2x. Yeah.
And you'll be fine for the rest of that. I was just making sure. I just want to try. Let's try E. No, let's not try E. Let's try F.
Okay. So would you multiply the second fraction by x squared as well? Would you square it?
Yep.
Okay. So it'd be 6 over x squared plus 7x squared over x is lesser than or equal to 3. 3x squared, is that right?
Yeah. Do you do next?
And then would you have to make 6 and the other x both be squared as well? Oh no.
What do you mean by that?
Oh no, you could simplify it now, couldn't you? The second fraction.
Yeah, simplify everything.
So can you divide 6 by x squared?
Yeah.
So would that just oh, it would be 6x squared. Okay.
So 6x squared over x squared. What does that simplify down to?
Would that just be x? Oh no, would it just be x? Or just 6?
Just 6.
Okay. Because they cancel out.
Yeah.
Add, and then 7.
Sorry, that
is
should be x.
So it'd be 6. Yeah. 6 add 7.
That would be.
Oh no, sorry. 7 x.
Yeah.
is less than or equal to 3x squared, and then you take away 3x squared from both sides.
Yeah, and you'll be fine
Yeah.
for the rest of that. So there I was just checking that you'd multiply everything by x squared because you got a plus or minus in between and you can't simplify it, and that you would be able to simplify. So 6 divided by x squared times by x squared just becomes 6, and then this one simplifies, you have the x.
But when did the 6 on the fraction become x squared? I didn't realize when it became x squared. You know,
When you times everything by x squared, it becomes 6x squared, 7x squared, 3x squared, and they still have their denominators.
okay, so the denominators don't change, right?
No, not until
Okay.
you simplify it.
Okay.
Okay, any idea about this one?
Okay. Okay. So would you square both of them, 5 and 2?
Let me think about this. Okay, how would you go about that?
So it would become 5x squared over x minus 3 is
Hold on, I don't believe so. Because that wouldn't get rid of the denominator. What you might think is we multiply both sides by x minus 3 to remove the denominator.
Yeah.
But we don't know if x minus 3, if we don't know if x is negative, so I believe we would have to times both sides by x minus 3 squared.
Oh, so would it be, so the top would be 5x minus 3 squared over x minus 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be is lesser than to 2 open brackets x minus 3 close brackets squared.
Yeah.
And then it would be, because x minus 3 squared cancels out. If it doesn't cancel out, it would just be 5 open brackets x minus 3.
Very good.
That'd be right.
Yep.
It's lesser than 2 open brackets x minus 3 squared.
Yep.
And then you'd work it out there. The
Yep.
brackets, multiply brackets.
Yep.
So it'd be 5x minus 15 is lesser than 2x minus 6 in brackets. Would it be in brackets?
Bidmus.
Oh, you multiply everything in the brackets.
Yeah.
Square it.
Yep.
Okay. So b. So you have x squared and then plus 9. Is that right?
So if you were to, the way square brackets is you write them twice times itself.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So you got the x squared.
Yeah, so it'd be x squared and then minus 3x
Mm-hmm.
minus 3x and then plus 9.
Mm-hmm.
And these simplify it, so it'd be x squared minus 6x plus 9.
6x plus 9. Yeah, so just watch out for that with the minus 6x in the middle.
And then you put it back into the inequality.
Yep.
Okay. And then you want to make it equal to 0.
Yep.
So you'd minus 9 on both sides.
Slow down. You forgot about this too. So x minus 3 squared
Oh,
is
yeah.
this.
So, wait, the 2. Oh, yeah. So, could you just take away 2 on both sides? Does it work like that? Does it not work like that? Or it'll be 2 open brackets.
Yeah.
X squared minus, and then you multiply everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be 2. So it'd be 2x squared, and then 2 multiplied by 6 is 12. So it'd be minus 12x plus 18.
Yep.
And then you put that back into the inequality.
Yep.
And you make it equal to 0. So you can minus 18 on both sides, which would be 5x minus, so minus 15 minus 18. It's minus 33. It's less than 2x squared minus 12x. And then you add 12x to both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 17x minus 33 is lesser than 2x squared. And then you minus 2x squared on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 17x minus 33 minus 2x squared.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put it into the calculator. Yeah, it's not equal to 0, but yeah.
Go on, put it in calculator. See, we might as well finish it.
Okay, so it'd be that one. So it'd be minus 2x squared plus 17x minus 33. So it would be x is lesser than 3 or and not or 11 over 2 is lesser than x.
And so this second one, if 11 over 2 is less than x, then x is... What if you put those on the other side?
Oh, it would be flipped, so it would
Yeah.
be x is greater than 11.
Yeah. And I think that's 5.5. Yeah. So x is less than 3 or x is greater than 5.5. Yeah, because they've got no overlap. So it can be less than 3, it can be less than 2, or bigger than 5.5. Okay. Yeah, because you can either get a negative number that'll be less than 2, or you can get a very small fraction, like 5 over 100, something like that. Okay, so this one we had to multiply both sides by x minus 3 squared. So it's just a square of the denominator.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions about that one?
No.
So that's a tricky one. We got the answer. Okay, this is a good one. How do we go about this?
I don't see it on. Oh, there we go. I see it now. All right. So would you just want k by itself for this?
Nope. No real roots. Do you know what that's about?
So it'd be, so 0 is greater than the whole thing. Is that what it means?
It means the discriminant. B squared minus 4ac.
Oh yeah, b squared minus 4ac is lesser than 0. Is that right?
That's right. Must be a negative discriminant if it has no real roots. Okay, range of values of k.
Okay.
So what is A? What is B? What is C?
Oh, A is Px.
Part question A.
Oh, question. Oh, sorry. Okay. That would just be 1 for A.
A is 1. Yep.
B is Kx. That'd be right. Or just 1K. Just K.
Just K, but something's missing. If K was a number, it would be minus.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So A is 1, B equals minus K. And C is K plus 3.
Yep. Discriminant.
And then we put it into the equation.
Yep.
So it'd be minus K squared minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by K plus 3 in brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's lesser than 0.
Simplify. What do we get?
Okay. So we can multiply minus 4 and 1.
Sure.
So that'll make it minus 4 still.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplied by K plus 3 in brackets, less than 0. And then can we plus 4 on both sides?
You could divide 4 by both sides. Just expand the brackets. You're not trying to solve.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So minus 4. So it'd be minus 4K. Minus 12.
Mm-hmm.
Is less than 0.
Yep. We started with a minus K squared. What about that?
Do we put that back into the equation?
What is minus K squared?
Is that just K?
What is minus K times minus K?
K squared.
Yep. Positive K squared.
Yeah.
That's it. So B squared minus 4AC is minus K squared minus 4 times 1 times K plus 3, which gives us K squared minus 4K minus 12 is less than 0. Find the range of values for K.
And then you put it into the calculator.
Yep.
So it'd be 1 squared minus 4 minus 12. So the answer is minus 2 is less than x and 6 is greater than x.
And so I wrote it as K. K is between minus 2 and 6, is it?
Yeah, minus 2 and 6, yeah.
Okay. Question B.
So the discriminant would be b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0.
I don't believe it is equal to 0. Real roots.
Oh, it's greater than 0. So yeah.
So you'd think greater than 0. I think it's greater than or equal to 0.
Okay.
Because it could be either. If it has like one repeat, like repeated real roots, that means it's equal to 0. So greater than or equal to 0. If it's no real roots, then it's less than 0. The opposite of that would be greater than or equal to.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So now would you work out what A, B, and C are?
Yep.
So A is P.
Mm-hmm.
B is P.
Mm-hmm.
C is -2. And then you'd put that into the equation. So it'd
Mm-hmm.
be P squared minus 4 multiplied by P multiplied by -2 is greater than or equal to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it could be written out as P squared minus 4P -2.
Yeah.
And then could you divide by -4P?
Expand the brackets.
Oh
So
yeah.
-4 times P times -2.
Okay. So -4. So it gives you 8P.
Mm-hmm.
It's be P squared plus 8P. Would that be alright?
Yep.
Is greater than or equal to 0. And then could you put that into the calculator?
Yep.
Should be okay. So it'd be 1P squared plus 8P plus 0. So the answer is 8. No, x is lesser than or equal to -8, comma 0 is lesser than or equal to x.
And so 0 is less than or equal to P. And so P is what to 0?
P is greater than or equal to 0.
Yeah, it just kind of makes more sense to put it that way. P is less than -8 or greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to. Great. So this is now bringing in the stuff from the last time, the discriminant.
Yeah.
We were doing discriminant questions and it was equal to. Now that you've done quadratic inequalities, you can do discriminant questions, like all of the discriminant questions, basically.
Yeah.
That one's all right. And so quadratic inequalities, what would you give yourself?
So we need a half and a tick, probably.
Hey, tricky stuff. Yeah, how is that for you, Adam?
That's fine.
And so next is inequalities on graphs. How does that sound?
Okay. That sounds great.
Any questions for me in general?
No.
All right, well done, Adam. You did great. I look forward
Thank
to
you.
chatting to you after the weekend.
You too.
All right, take care.
Have a
Goodbye.
nice weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.